On a distant planet called Xephos 7, gladiatorial combat was not just a sport, it was a way of life. The Scifians, a race of towering, muscular aliens with thick gray skin and large tusks, ruled the arena. Their strength and combat prowess were unmatched, and they held their gladiators in the highest regard. Among them stood the most feared of all, Zorath, the reigning champion. No one had ever defeated him in the arena. Zorath was a colossal figure, his muscles rippling beneath his armored skin. His battle axe, the size of a small tree, gleamed in the arena's artificial sunlight, and his deep voice shook the ground as he issued his challenges to any who dared face him. For years, the Scifians watched with awe and terror as Zorath crushed his enemies, one by one. No one dared challenge him, not until one fateful day when a human Navy SEAL trainee, Lieutenant Jake Thompson, arrived on Xephos 7. He was part of a new intergalactic peacekeeping mission, sent to establish diplomatic relations with the Xifian people. However, there was a twist. He had unknowingly walked straight into their gladiator tradition. The mission had been simple: observe and learn. But Jake's commander, Colonel Serena Black, had one condition. Jake must participate in the gladiator trials to prove his worth as a soldier. The humans had been on the offensive in the galaxy's war zones, but they needed to show the Xifians their strength and resolve. When Jake was told that he would face Zorath in the arena, he was not intimidated. He had been trained to withstand the harshest conditions, fight under extreme pressure, and use his cunning and physical abilities to survive. Zorath, on the other hand, looked at Jake with disdain. A human, no less, entering his domain, it was laughable. Zorath's tusks twitched in mockery as he sized up the human. "You are foolish to challenge me," he growled. "You will die like all the others." But Jake, with his calm demeanor and unwavering determination, stood tall. He had been through hell during his Navy SEAL training, but nothing prepared him for this moment. The crowd roared with anticipation as the two warriors entered the arena. The sun burned fiercely overhead, casting long shadows across the red sand beneath them. A heavy silence fell as the battle began. Zorath made the first move, charging at Jake with terrifying speed. His massive axe swung through the air like a whirlwind, aiming to cleave the human in half. Jake ducked just in time, his agility honed by years of rigorous training. He quickly rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding the blow. The crowd gasped in shock. This human was fast. Zorath swung again, this time with even more force, but Jake was already on the move. He darted around the gladiator, his movements a blur as he searched for an opening. The Scifian growled in frustration and stomped the ground, sending a shockwave through the arena. The impact caused the sand to rise in waves, blinding Jake momentarily. But the SEAL trainee's training kicked in, and he used the opportunity to adapt. He dove into the sand, hiding momentarily, then sprang out from the dust cloud with a sharp, precise move that caught Zorath off guard. Jake aimed for the Xifian's side, but the blow was deflected by Zorath's thick armor. "You are quick, human," Zorath snarled, his tusks gleaming with rage, "but you cannot defeat me." Jake did not respond. Instead, he took a deep breath and adjusted his stance. He had studied the gladiator's every move, every tactic. Zorath relied heavily on brute strength, but Jake knew that in the heat of battle, strength alone wouldn't win the fight. He needed to outsmart him. Zorath charged again, but this time Jake was ready. As the massive alien swung his axe in a wild arc, Jake moved with lightning speed, ducking under the blow and coming up behind Zorath. Using the moment of the Xifian's imbalance, Jake delivered a series of quick strikes to Zorath's joints, areas not protected by armor. The crowd gasped again. The mighty gladiator staggered, a rare sign of weakness. Zorath howled in pain, his rage now consuming him. He turned with a speed that belied his size, swinging his axe wildly in every direction. Jake dodged and weaved, relying on his speed and instincts. The battle had become a test of endurance, agility, and wits. As the minutes dragged on, Zorath grew fatigued. His moves became slower, less precise. Jake, on the other hand, was breathing steadily, his mind calm and focused. He could see the cracks in Zorath's armor, both literal and metaphorical. The beast was starting to break. Seizing the opportunity, Jake launched himself at Zorath with everything he had left. He gripped Zorath's arm and used his body weight to force the alien off balance. In a single fluid motion, Jake disarmed the gladiator, sending the massive axe clattering to the ground. The crowd was silent now, watching in stunned disbelief. Zorath, stunned and vulnerable, looked at Jake, his expression a mix of fury and respect. He had underestimated this human, but now he saw the truth. This human was not like the others. "You have bested me," Zorath admitted, his voice low but sincere. Jake stood over him, breathing heavily. "I didn't defeat you, Zorath. I just outlasted you." The crowd erupted into cheers. Jake Thompson, a simple Navy SEAL trainee, had done what no one had thought possible. He had defeated the mighty Gladiator. The humans had earned their place among the stars. And as for Jake, he proved that sometimes the greatest strength lies not in muscle, but in determination and intelligence. On HFY 7, the legend of the Gladiator would now include the human who dared to face him and win. The end.